Yo, what's up, guys? Old School Dan here, and welcome to How to Build the Classic Physique. Welcome to part one. What makes a classic physique? All right, so I was thinking about doing this series a long time ago, but I was like, you know what? Not yet. I don't want to put this out there yet. I'm not ready. But then I saw this guy on Instagram. I mean, he's got a really fucking good classic physique, like the best I have ever seen on Instagram. Like, I'm like, damn, this guy's really fucking classic looking. Like, he's got the square chest, the big calves, the wide back, the thick back, everything. This guy looks phenomenal, but he's very selfish with his tips, his like his secrets. Like, he doesn't want to give away the sauce. And then like I was like, dude, I saw someone comment, and they're like, "Oh, Owen. Oh, fuck, I just said his name." But anyways, who cares? They were like, "Dude, you would have so much more followers if you just like put out more like shit to help us out. Like you see on social media, we don't go on there anymore just to like see people's pictures. We want like a coach. We want help. We want shit that we can find out about." And that guy said, "Oh, dude, you would have way more followers um if you just like helped us out more." And that is so true. Like, he would have more sales if he put out more like, "Oh, you should do this for your calves," or "This is how you build a wide back," and shit like that. But no, this guy is hiding the sauce. Like, he's keeping the secret sauce for himself. And that shit made me kind of mad, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck this guy. Like, I know how to do this, and I know how to do it naturally too." I've read a couple books like on how to build a classic physique, like a little bit of Steve Reeves, some of Reg Park stuff, Vince Durant stuff, Arnold stuff, and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, honestly, like, it's very simple. I mean, we're about to break it down in just a minute, but I mean, like, I'm doing this video out of like a rant. I'm like, dude, like, this guy, man, he's just hiding the sauce from like, he's not interested in the good of people. I'm interested in the good of people. That is why I do the videos. I want to help people out because I want to be the person that people didn't have when they were growing up. Like, when I was younger, I wish I had a person telling me, "Oh, Danny, you know what? You have to do this if you want to get your calves bigger, or you have to do this if you want to start your YouTube channel." Nothing like that. I had nobody to help me, and that is exactly why I'm starting this series, because it's like, you know what? I want to be the big brother. I want to be the giant. I want to be, excuse me, I want to be in service of people. That's what I really care about. I really care about the people. I mean, like, fuck everybody else and like, oh, they're just trying to get your money and shit. Like, dude, I'm doing this out of the good because like I want to see people. I want to see people succeed. Like, it's pretty crazy because you get a lot of people that are like, oh, um, like, I don't want to give them my sauce. I don't want to do this because then I think people. I don't think I'll make sales like that. I'm like, dude, like, you know what? Fuck that. I want to see people succeed, and I'm gonna teach you how to build a class physique right now. We're gonna break it down. This is gonna be like a big series. We're gonna do one for shoulders. We're gonna do one for everything. Don't worry, it's gonna be really, really cool. All right, so you know what? All right, so enough of this rant. I'm gonna get started. All right, so let's start off with what makes a classic physique. Number one, symmetry. Someone who had really good symmetry was like Steve Reeves. That guy had amazing symmetry, and also proportions. Like, you have to be very proportional. You have to have calves that match your biceps, and you have to have let's see, a chest that matches your back. Like, all that shit, nothing can be overdeveloped. You can't have like huge legs and then have tiny calves, because I see that a lot. Like, in a lot of the classic physique competitions right now, I see guys that have all like really big freaking legs, like big thighs, and then they have these tiny little calves, and it just makes their, like, it takes away the effect of the classic physique. Like, they don't even look classic. I'm like, dude, what is this, man? Like, this is what's ruining classic physique. Like, no one, like, I don't want this. And also, like everything has to be proportional. You know what I mean? And lines, everything has to flow with one another. Like, your triceps and your biceps have to flow with your forearms, and then you have to have the chest flow with the back, and the quads flow with the calves, and you have to be really aesthetic looking. A really good example is Steve Reeves. This guy looked like a Greek god and super appealing to the eye. I heard a story about how he was walking on the beach, and and crowds followed him. Like they're like, wow, this guy has a beautiful body, and I'm like, damn, I want to have a body like that. Like Arnold talked about it in a conference that like it used to be like, oh, I would love to have his body. Now it's like just like a bottle shape. Like who wants to look like that? You have to be really appealing to the eye. You have to have people saying, oh my god, I would love to have that guy's body and stuff like that. So let's move on to the next part. All right, anatomy of the classic physique. I picked two pretty good examples. Vince Gironda is on the left side. This guy is the guy that trained Arnold and told him, "Hey, dude, you look fat, man." Like, and then Arnold like very egoish, and he was like, "Oh no, I look good." And then he went on into, well, I forgot what Olympia it was, and then Arnold lost to Frank Zane because Arnold was too smooth. And then he came back to Vince and was like, "I see what you meant." And then Vince worked with him, and then he got him all ripped and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, Arnold lost to Frank Zane. He's like, oh, I lost to a toothpick. Well, Frank Zane was like ripped, and he had like, he had the aesthetics, and Arnold was just like a big, smooth guy with no like lines or anything like that, and that's why he lost. Then when he came back to Vince, he helped him out, and boom. I think he was Mr. Olympia the next year or something like that. But another good example is Steve Reeves. Look at this guy. This guy's got the square. Well, actually, both these guys. Both of these guys have the square chest. Look how it like flares out like that. That is the square chest, and they both have wide shoulders. Look at that, wide shoulders, wide lats, big calves. They both have pretty big calves. Look at that. Like this is what I'm saying. Like the classic physique nowadays, these guys all have like small calves. It's like, dude, you got no lines, man. Like you need to have big calves to have a classic physique. Like you've seen all these guys. Chris Dickerson. I mean, let's see who else. Arnold Schwarzenegger. They got massive calves. Reg Park had pretty big calves. Oh, Reg Park actually had pretty big calves. Yeah. John Grimmick. I mean, any guy. Samir Banouts. All these guys have huge calves. It's a big part. And another thing is that they don't have overpowering legs. They have chiseled legs, like really aesthetic looking legs. Look, if you see that, their quads flow really good with their calves. It almost creates one line. That's another thing you have to really pay attention to. And another big one, it's kind of like a must. I mean, Arnold didn't have a small waist. I heard he had a big waist, but anyways, like he used the illusion and built really wide lats and a big upper body, and like some really aesthetic legs. Excuse me. He built really aesthetic legs, and that's what made him look like he had a small waist. And Steve Reeves has a really small waist. I think his was like a 28 or like a something like that. I can't remember, but it was a pretty small waist. Vince Gironda obviously has a small tight waist, and that's a really big part. Let's see what else. Wide lats, wide shoulders. We went to that. Square chest, big calf, small waist, chisel legs. Cool. Yeah, that is really the anatomy of the classic physique. If you see a lot of the guys in the classic physique, they're all gonna have these guidelines right here. A square. I mean, if they don't have it, I mean, they can still look classic, but it's like this is like the meat and potatoes of the classic physique. You gotta have the wide lats. Like anybody you've ever seen that has a classic physique, excuse me, anybody you've ever seen that has a classic physique has the wide lats. Like they gotta have huge lats. I mean, look at pictures of Reg Park, Arnold, Steve Reeves. Let's see who else had pretty big lats. Lou Ferrigno, I'd say so him too. Frank Zane, that guy had huge lats too. Franco Colombo, all these guys had wide lats, wide shoulders, obviously. Let's see, square chest. That one you don't really see that often, but I mean, a square chest is pretty cool if you have the classic. When you have the classic physique, it really stands out. Let's see what else. Big calves, like I said before. Small waist. A lot of them had small waists. Frank Zane had a small waist. Steve Reeves, yeah. So that's pretty much the anatomy of the classic physique. Honestly, whatever appeals to your eye, you can model. Like I sort of used to like model Vince Gironda on the left hand side. I used to model him, and I actually got to that point where I kind of like looked like him a little bit, except my chest wasn't as flaring as his was, and it wasn't as square. But you should definitely find someone to model that you could think you could become like, because that's a good thing to have. Like it's a good thing to have like a vision of what you want to look like. As I continue on more into this series, we're gonna have like videos on the chest, the shoulders, the wide lats, the big calves, the waist, the chisel legs. We're gonna do it on everything. We're gonna break it all down. I'm gonna tell you some exercises to do, some examples you should really like just so you guys, it can really be broken down for you because it's actually kind of simple. I mean, the guidelines are very simple. The square chest, the wide shoulders, the big lats, the big calves, small waist, chiseled legs. But yeah, I mean, next video is probably gonna be on. Let's see, maybe some examples to like check out, or maybe we'll do one on chest. But I'm definitely gonna do one on each part because this is something that people are like hiding from you. Like they don't want you to know this, but I want you to know this because I care about you guys. Like this is what I'm really interested in. I'm like I've said before, I'm really interested in the good of people. These people want to hide the sauce from you. Like they don't want you to be successful. I mean, they maybe want you to be successful on the inside. They're like, nah, I want this all for myself. Like, so I can make more money and and I'll have a crutch on them, and so they have to come to me for help. But what that does is that pushes you away from them. Like it's like, well, this guy doesn't have anything to offer. Why am I gonna come to him? Why am I gonna follow him if he's not? I mean, I'm gonna follow this guy because this guy's giving me like information, something I can really follow, something I can model, shit I can actually use. And these guys are just like, oh, please like my picture. Look at my picture. Look how ripped I am. Look at my small waist. Look at my vacuum. Like, oh, look at me. Look at me. And it's like, well, I don't want to look at you. I want to look like you. I want to look like you, but how do I do it? And it's like there's no substance there. There's no information that you can follow. And it's like, dude, like that's not how you help people nowadays. Like you help people by showing them, walking them through it, and teaching them. That's what I want. So you know what, guys? That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. This is Old School Dan checking out. Peace. Also, another thing, if you like this video, if you feel the same way that the people are keeping this from you, and you're like, oh, this is finally what I've been looking for, please like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you think about this video and this series. What would you want to see? What do you like? Tell me whatever it is. So give me some constructive criticism because I really want to make this better for you. I want to make this better for myself. I want to get better. I want you to get better. And whatever you can say or do can really help me. So thanks for watching. This is Old School Dan checking out. Peace.